Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of our making a fishing game. Well, today we're going to complete that game in part 2, and we're going to make the fish tank and we're going to make the fishing rod in the same video because the fishing rod won't take more than about a minute or two. So we'll start with the tank first, and all of the measurements you need will be in the description box below. Just a quick recap, all you need to do is press on the more and it will drop down and it will tell you all of the information that you're likely to need. But the only information you'll really need is the measurements. So let's get on with it. So we'll make our tank, and you will need a base, which obviously goes on the bottom. And this measures, you can adapt yours. If you're making more fish, you can make a bigger tank. But for this one, for the purposes of this exercise, we will make one this size. And if you're making a tank this size, you will need a base which measures 7 by 5 inches. We'll go slowly so that you can keep up, because I know sometimes I ramble on a bit and go too fast. So I will try to go slowly, or slowish anyway. You will need 2 pieces for the back and the front. And these measure 6 by 7 inches. And you score at 1 inch along one of the long ends like that. And we turn it over, and I have, oops, I've got other bits partially prepared to hopefully keep the video a bit shorter, which means it's all sticking to my jumper, but never mind. Anyway, I've got it prepared with a little bit of, well, with a strip of double-sided tape on the back. You can use glue if you want to, but of course tape does stick instantly. And what we're going to do, as we've done in previous videos, is we're going to put a bit of glue stick over the top of the tape just to give it a bit more time so it doesn't grab instantly. So I'm going to put that down there, line the score line with the edge of the base. It doesn't matter which edge you start with, you can start with one or the other because obviously they're both exactly the same. And that glue just gives you a bit of, as they call, wiggle room. That gives you a bit of time just to slide that piece into place like that. And we're going to stick that down. Then we're going to spin it round like that. And we're going to find the other piece. There it is. The other long edge. This is the back and the front. We're going to do exactly the same. Pop some, oops, sorry. Move that up. There we go. Never enough space. Doesn't matter how much I try to clear the space on this desk, there's never enough space. So we're going to turn that over, lay it down again, line the score line up with the edge of your base, and we are going to pop that down like that. And so when you put that up, when you stand it up, it will stand up like that eventually. So to make that happen, you need 2 ends, which are sticking to my fingers, or my jumper I should say. So you will need, for the ends, you will need, if I can do this without it dropping off the other end, 2 pieces which measure 7 by 6. And on the ends, you score at 1 inch on both sides, and then 1 inch along one of the long sides for the bottom. And where these 2 score lines cross over, you take a pair of scissors. We'll do this for one of them because I've already done it on the others. And you just cut up to, but not across the score line, because otherwise it won't go together. And just cut these little squares, these little sections. You don't need those, so we can put them to one side. And then when you've done both pieces, you'll have a piece that looks like that. In fact, you'll have 2 pieces that look like that because you need to make 2. So what we're going to do with that one, get the scissors out of the way, is we're going to put this together. What I am going to do is just, that's it, just take you out a little bit, give you a bit more viewing room. So we're going to put some, again, we're going to put some glue over the tape just to stop it grabbing. It doesn't take away the stickiness, neither does it add to it, if you haven't heard me say this before. It just gives you a bit of room, a bit of time. So we'll lay that down there like that. I think what we'll do, because this is, the other one's got tape on the bottom, I don't want it sticking to my desk. So we are going to do this end first. Then what we do is bend those to the flaps. These are the ceiling tabs, the tabs that put it all together. Bend them in, and then one at a time, bring them up like that. Hopefully you can see that. And stick it together. Lock it on its side. You know what, I'm going to bring the other one over here because the tape is sticking to my jumper and it's annoying me a bit. So we're going to just pop that down like that. Turn that round. Put the other side down like that. Just let it touch. Bring it over and press it down like that. And there is one side of your tank all finished. That was easy, wasn't it? Now, if you have got a bit of overhang, like I have, if I turn it over on its side, you'll see what I mean. For whatever reason, it's exactly the same size, but for some unfathomable reason, there is overhang. So what we do is we just take a pair of scissors and we chop it off. We don't worry about it. We just... I should have brought my little scissors out with me, but I didn't get them out today. Oh, that's just pinged over the other side, but that's okay. So now you'll have a tank that looks like that. And of course, there's an end missing. So we need to correct that. Let's just pop that to one side for a moment. And very quickly, let's just pop that there like that. Pop some glue onto our ends and onto our tabs. Bring that back. Slide that in there like that. That should just go in like that. Stick it down. It's a bit like making a constructed box without a lid, really. That's all we're doing. But of course, if you want to make a lid, you absolutely can. I'm not going to do that today, but if you want to make a lid for this, of course you can. And I'm just going to stick that down like that. And what I was doing, I was putting my hand, it's difficult to show you from this camera angle, but I was sliding my hand inside and just pressing that down. So if I can, oh, yeah, the trouble is we're a bit close to the top of the camera. So what I was doing was folding the tab down, lining it up like that, and then just going on the inside and pressing it down like that. And there you have your fish tank. Unfortunately, I can't take it out any further. But there you go, there is your fish tank. And where are our fish? Oh, there they are. The fish we made in our previous video, they are all sitting here ready. So we're going to put our fish in our fish tank, like that. And I'm going to put the fish tank somewhere where it's not going to be in the way. I'll put it up there for the time being. And we are going to make our fishing rod. So you will need a piece of doweling for this. Now I got mine, they came in a pack of 10 and I got mine from the works, and I will link that below for you. So we need a piece of doweling, doesn't matter what size. I think mine's about 10, no it's not, it's about 12, maybe 13 inches, but it doesn't really matter, whatever size they come in. You will need a piece of, well, when I say string, of course on this channel nothing is definite. If you want to use, this is just ordinary household string, but if you want to use twine, if you want to use embroidery thread, wool, use whatever you've got and whatever you like. And of course you can use different colours if you want to. And what we need to do, well, let's get this bit sorted out first. Now I'll give you a tip here. The easiest way of doing it is do a slip knot. And the way we do a slip knot, I'm sure you know how to do a slip knot, is bring one over the top of the other, push it through to make a loop like that, and pull. So this bit, you'll know if you've done it correctly, because if you take the short end and pull, you'll be able to adjust the knot or the loop, and that's what we need. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to slip that over there like that, if it'll go over. There we go. And we are just going to, first of all, give it a good pull. Now, if you're using string, you can be as brutal as you like. So we need this fairly tight. And because it's a slip knot, we need to make sure it doesn't come undone. So once you've got it tight, just tie an ordinary knot, just a good old-fashioned granny knot. Give it a good pull. And what we don't need that end so we can just pop that off. Now, the last thing you need to do, obviously, we've got our fishing rod, but we haven't got enough room. What we do need to do, we need to make a hook. Where's my paper clip? Oh, there we go. So I have got a small or a standard size paper clip even, whatever you like to call them, whatever size. Now I guess this would be a standard size. I call it small because I'm used to using the big ones. But if you get them in a pack of different sizes, use the smallest one, and I'm going to show you how we make the hook. But of course, if you haven't got a small one, if you've only got the bigger ones, you can just cut them down. But what we're going to do first, we're going to unravel it like that. We're just going to bend it into a straight-ish line like that. And then what we're going to do, this bit that's already hooked over, we are going to, now how did I do this? We're going to cross that over like that. I should have got my pliers out, but never mind. I'm sure we'll manage. We're going to just cross that like that, so that there's, now if I bring that up to the camera, so you need it like that. If you can push it down a bit further, now you'll find this a lot easier if you do what I did when I first made it and use pliers, but I haven't got my pliers out and I can't reach them from where I am. So for now, we're just going to do it like that. And then what we need to do is that loop is to attach our wire, and then we will finish off the thread, we will finish off the hook, and we're all done. So all we need to do is, I can never tie knots on video. That will do. You can tie it, I really should have done that a bit longer and made a longer knot, but that'll do for now. And I'm not even going to bother cutting it off. But all we need to do now is make the hook. And all you do is bend it up. And do you know what? I am going to need my wire cutters because I need to cut that. Let's just get that out of the way. I moved everything from my camera stand, but then I put everything in the way of what I needed. That was clever, wasn't it? So you do need a pair of wire cutters for that, because you need to cut down your hook. So just take your wire cutters wherever you think you want it and cut like that. If you want it to be a bit shorter, in fact, I wouldn't mind that being it. Do you know what? Let's leave it like that for now. No, that's going to be too long. I remember when I was trying it out, if a long hook doesn't work. So I would leave it like that. Just cut it down till you're happy with it. That's all you really need to do. And then all you've got to do, now this is going to be difficult because of the height of my camera. We've got our fish in there. So what I'm going to try and do is catch a fish from here, but that's going to be terribly difficult because I haven't got the height. And I think I'm going to knock the camera in the attempt. But yeah, I am. I'm going to knock the camera in the attempt. But so what I'll do is we'll put that to one side for a minute. So once that's in the bottom, all you need to do is you use your hook, you catch your fish, oops, or you could do it the other way around, of course. You could catch your fish like that, and we could pretend that the fish has escaped and you are putting it back into the tank, if you can get it off. But of course, what you'd normally do is, well, I'll have to do it that way, keep it straight, but because of the height of my camera, or my camera stand, I couldn't do that. So there you go, guys. There is our fish tank, our fish, and our fishing rod with the hook on the end. So I hope you enjoyed that. And with the Easter break coming up, if you've got young children and you don't know what you're going to do with them, or you'd like to do something a bit different, with supervision, of course, you could make this game together with your children, as long as you keep them away from the wire cutters and the scissors. So just for that's just a safety precaution, of course. But otherwise, you could make this game up for your younger children and let them have a go. And it's good for their hand-eye coordination as well, because they could cheat. Well, it's not really cheating. They could look inside the tank and try and do it. So it's good for hand-eye coordination. And it's a good excuse just to play, really. Well, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So that's my excuse. It's my excuse to play and practice my hand-eye coordination. So there we go. There is part 2 of our fishing game. I hope you enjoyed it. Have fun with it, and I will see you next time for our next project, our next regular crafting project. Until then, take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.